Usually this show is about Canadian politics and issues and social issues, but one of the social issues in Canada is about the American election. More on that in a second. First, please subscribe and keep us on the air. Even Mr. Trudeau will not pay to have a discussion about Trump and Biden. But Dan McTeague knows all about it. He was in the House of Commons in Ottawa for 19 years. He joins me right now. You're a follower of not only energy and everything else in the world, but tell me about American politics in the sense that people look and they say, even if you might like some of the things that Trump says, he is clearly unsuitable for high office. What's going on in the courtroom and stuff. And people just say, I know people that know him, they say he's crazy. And Biden, though, he's not crazy, but he may be losing it a little bit. And people are tired of that kind of milquetoast policy. So how did the great nation of the United States get saddled with these two guys?
We're almost prepared to say the same thing happens in Canada. Is there a time in which there has been so much reluctance to support either of the front runners?
Yes, a lot of people will be sitting on their hands.
Yeah, exactly. And maybe RFK will do well. I don't know. But look, I suspect that we're going to have to go through one more very difficult election in the United States. For Canadians, the policies aren't necessarily that great. I know some people say Biden's better for Canada, Trump's worse for Canada. But I go with what the first thing that President Biden did was to destroy the Keystone XL pipeline. Not only for their sake in terms of energy security, but the effect it had on the Canadian dollar, billions of dollars of investments that went out the window. These are very serious factors. And I think from a Canadian perspective, taking a bit of a neutral role may be helpful, but we have to get our game right in Canada, because what happens if Trump wins and he decides to say 10 million people shouldn't be here, go north of the border?
Yeah, but but Canadians are saying we're going to be in peril with either Biden. Yes. As you said, the Keystone, he's no friend of Canada.
Yep.
And Trump is no friend of Canada. And the world is going to be in peril.
Yeah, and of course we're losing our role as the number one trading partner to the United States, displaced by Mexico. And there are a number of geopolitical concerns that I think the next leader is going to have to finesse in a way that we've never seen in the past. We've had tensions between ourselves and the United States. We've also had a tremendous friendship between the two countries. Both of those are going to be really important high order factors for the next leader of this country.
Yeah, it's going to be very testing for Canada. So you say that we are going into a bad state in politics. Clearly we are. We have it in Canada, and the United States is as well. So what's your advice to Canadians?
Fresh government, fresh mandate gets respect in Washington, especially in Congress. Second point, engage the Americans on every single point, and don't fall for the narrative, the ideological pitfalls that both parties and leaders present.
That's good advice. You've been around politics a long time.
I think so.
Dan McTeague, thank you very much. 3 minutes. This show provides independent analysis of the issues. We are not paid by the government. And as I am finding, so much business in Canada relies upon various governments that they don't want to sponsor or advertise on a show which may become controversial, which talks about liberty, freedoms, sometimes criticizes government. I've had guests on that support the government. But people are saying, you know what? We don't want to bite the hand that feeds us, i.e. government, which is why I hope you'll subscribe and contribute to keep this show on the air.